This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
And the time right now is 4:27 here on our Friday morning. We made it all the way through the work week. Want to thank you for starting your day with us here on RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin this morning with some more major road closures that is going to impact you, especially if you're coming from the south side into downtown this weekend.
Yeah, this is going into effect tonight at 9 o'clock. It's going to wrap up Monday morning at 6 a.m. That's the schedule, and you can see the closure there on your screen. So the area that is completely closed, that's northbound I-65 from I-465 on the south side to the north split, and then just south of there as you're traveling from Southport Road to 465, one lane. It'll be down to one lane in that area. So this is a spot you'll need to avoid. You can use 465 to get around this closure. Also, if you're heading in from the south side, maybe take the East Street, exit Harding Street. A few options for you, but again, this will impact you over the weekend, and we just want to make you aware of this because this is really going to impact you, a busy part of our metro area and our interstates. All right, we do want to talk about the weather though. So that is why Alyssa Donovan is here. And as you're stepping out the door this morning, fall.
My teeth were chattering a bit once I got into my car.
That's extreme.
But it's finally feeling like fall outside.
Feels like fall. I think it feels really pleasant this morning, and it's going to be a really nice day. We're starting this morning in the 50s. Keep in mind, yesterday and the day before, we started in the low 70s, upper 60s. So we are already a little bit cooler to start this morning, and those temperatures today only going to climb into the upper 60s. We had that cold front move through yesterday. High pressure built in overnight. That helped keep that cool air across the area. 69 degrees for our high. We are going to see mostly sunny skies, so it's just going to be a cooler, more seasonable day out there with those temperatures where they should be. Lots of sunshine, though, and then we do have some chances of showers and thunderstorms as we head through the weekend. Those temperatures will come up a little bit, but we're going to stay right around the 70s before we get back to where we should be to start next week.
Okay.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Well, here in Hiring Hoosiers, we need to talk about keeping you safe as you're taking flight. A big industry is aviation mechanics, and they know that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of jobs available over the next 10 years in this line of work.
Yeah, obviously travel is not slowing down, especially more and more people choosing air travel just for the mere convenience of it. So these young people are learning how to take care of those airplanes and how to make sure they are safe once they take off from the runway.
Yes, Mark Mullins is heading over to the west side to show you how you can take classes to learn about that. But also it is Friday, so not only do we have a ton of good news, but we are heading out to Pendleton Heights to talk to the students there, get them fired up for their game tonight against Delta High School.
Yeah.
This is all part of Friday Football Frenzy. I feel like the weeks are just rolling by, Meredith, and we're almost to the sectionals. So very exciting. We're going to be checking in there with the students bright and early. Plus we'll have news, weather, and traffic coming up on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, one teenager is dead, another hurt in two separate shootings here in Indianapolis overnight. What we know about those investigations.
Another deadly crash this week. Changes are being made for a dangerous intersection in Brownsburg. What officials want to do to improve safety.
And the city of Indianapolis expanding a program to help the homeless. How Pathway to Employment has already helped dozens of people. Here at 4:30, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana here on this Friday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan joining us. And it is the moment we have all been waiting for. The fall weather has finally arrived.
Yes. I'm happy to talk about it because I was over those summer-like temperatures.
Yeah,
I didn't want to talk about the 90s anymore.
Yeah.
We've been talking about them all summer.
Yeah.
It was time for us to drop off. And we did. You said your teeth were chattering this morning.
Okay. They were.
You're like,
but I'm easily cold.
Okay,
so.
well, I think some people might feel that, especially to the north, because we are starting those temperatures a little cooler this morning. We're in the 40s in Crawfordsville, 47 degrees right now, 54 in Indianapolis. We could see some of those temperatures drop off a little bit yet this morning, and that's just because we have clear skies, high pressure over the area. We are starting to see a little bit of cloud coverage, and we'll see mostly sunny skies throughout the day, but we had that cold front pass through yesterday. Now high pressure is in control, and that's going to be in control today. and into most of tomorrow. So we'll see a little bit of cloud coverage this morning and then just some high clouds as we head into the afternoon. As you head out this morning, those temperatures will be in the low 50s, upper 40s to the north, so you might want a light jacket depending on if you're used to this cooler weather yet. And then by the noon hour, we'll hit those low 60s and only climbing today into the upper 60s across the area. So it is going to be a cooler day. However, this is where we should be this time of year, so get used to these temperatures. We do have some changes as we head into the weekend, but then we'll get back to normal for next work week. I'll have all the details coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a live look outside right now at your Friday morning commute. Early this morning, here's I-70 at the North Split. Traffic in downtown right now is traveling smoothly and up to speed. No major issues to slow you down. We're going to be breaking down, though, construction that goes up to this area. We'll have that for you later in the show. It'll impact you over the weekend. But for right now, let's take a live look over on the west side near the airport. If you're heading out to catch a flight, maybe kicking off your weekend a little bit earlier. Maybe you're wrapping up work here in Indianapolis for the week. This is I-70 at the airport ramp, so you can see traffic there on I-70 is moving along up to speed. No issues to slow you down.
We are following breaking news this morning. A 15-year-old has died following a shooting on the city's north side. The shooting happened around 2 this morning on Pemberton Circle. That's near 86th and Ditch Road. Police believe 2 other teens were in or around a vehicle when that teen was shot and killed. Officers are still trying to find out what led up to the shooting.
Police are also investigating a shooting near 23rd and Sheldon. Authorities say an 18-year-old victim is not being cooperative. Officers say the man was shot in the side and believe that shooting happened a few blocks away.
After multiple deadly crashes, plans are being made to change an intersection firefighters say is known to be dangerous.
2015, December 8th of 2015, we had a fatal motorcycle accident there, and it was a very horrific run. It was one of the worst ones I've ever been on in my 35 years being a fireman.
That's just one of several deadly wrecks over the years at State Road 267 and County Road 1000 North in Hendricks County. The latest crash happened Wednesday night, prompting RTV6 to look into the issue. 3 vehicles collided, killing 16-year-old Josie Cranfill. It's been 23 years since Adina Mataros survived an accident at that same intersection. Her best friend and youngest son died in the crash.
It's heartbreaking. Having lost my child, I can sympathize with the family. It's very difficult, and it brings up a lot for me, being the anniversary and the accident happening the night before.
RTV6 reached out to the Department of Transportation about the intersection and learned a traffic study wrapped up just last month. There are now plans to add a traffic signal at the intersection, but it could take between 12 and 18 months for the light to be installed.
It's 4:34. We're working to learn the identities of those 6 people on board a plane that crashed in Michigan after taking off from Indianapolis. The single-engine plane went down yesterday morning near Capital Region International Airport, in Lansing, killing 3 people and critically injuring 3 others. According to the Federal Aviation Administration registry, the plane is owned by a company in Greenwood. Lansing airport officials say they received an emergency alert from the plane. It's unclear if that alert came before or after the crash. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are still investigating.
New overnight, officials are investigating a house fire on the southeast side. The fire started around 2 this morning on Chorleywood Circle. A family of 3 made it out safely, as well as a guinea pig and a dog. The house sustained a significant damage. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time.
Thousands of fetal remains found in the Illinois home of an abortion doctor are now being stored here in Indiana. Authorities believe the abortions were likely performed at Ulrich Klopfer's clinics in northern Indiana. Klopfer died last month. Attorney General Curtis Hill shared this new information in South Bend, where one of the clinics operated.
This is a beginning of an investigation to understand how this could happen, why this happened. These remains appear to have been from a period of between 2000, of covering abortions that occurred in 2000, 2001, and 2002. As a result of that, we've set up a hotline for individuals that have concerns about whether or not they are impacted by these remains and their findings.
The number for that hotline is 317-234-6663. Klopfer's clinics have been closed for years now.
Some Indiana lawmakers are pushing for work zone speed cameras to be installed along the state's highways to catch speeding drivers. Members of a transportation study committee advanced a plan to authorize those cameras on Wednesday. The panel will decide later this month whether to officially recommend the measure. State records show work zone collisions nearly tripled between 2013 and 2017. State Representative Chuck Mosley says he is determined to get the plan passed in 2020. If approved, Indiana would become the 6th state with work zone cameras.
A major interstate closure is set for this weekend, and it could impact your travel plans. Here's a live look in the area that will be impacted by this project. Crews will close all northbound lanes of I-65 between I-465 on the south side up to the north split downtown. This closure will impact you if you're heading into downtown from the south side. Also, only one northbound lane will be open between Southport Road and I-465 during that time, so plan ahead. The closure goes into effect at 9 p.m. tonight. It is scheduled to last through Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Working for you, sidewalk repairs were underway just one day after RTV6 took a homeowner's concerns to the city. We first told you about this problem earlier this week. 84-year-old Benny Napier says he called the Mayor's Action Center and Department of Public Works several times after a snowplow hit the sidewalk in front of his home in January. The damage made it difficult for Benny's wife to get around because she uses a walker and a wheelchair. RTV6 took those concerns to DPW on the couple's behalf, and on Thursday we watched with Benny as crews started fixing the sidewalk.
Very cool. Well, here at 438, the city of Indianapolis will continue to offer a program that's created to help curb homelessness and panhandling problems right here in downtown. Mayor Joe Hogsett announced the Pathway to Employment Workforce Development Program will be extended through the end of the year. Since launching in May, the initiative has connected 43 people with paying jobs and work skills, according to the city. 18 of those participants have transitioned from the program to stable full-time employment.
The Indiana Pacers are just hours away from making history in the NBA's first game in India. The team has been posting videos on Twitter about their trip to Mumbai. They'll play the Sacramento Kings this morning at 9:30 Indiana time and again tomorrow. Governor Eric Holcomb is also in India on his overseas trip and is expected to cheer on the blue and gold at today's game. President Trump now urging another country to investigate Joe Biden amid the impeachment investigation. Still had the bold suggestions he made on camera.
And 23 soldiers are hurt after crashing during a parachuting exercise. Coming up, the incident that now has the Army conducting an investigation. Alyssa.
And we are seeing a much cooler start to a much cooler day. And when I say cooler, it's actually right where we should be this time of year. We have a nice weekend ahead, just a few chances of scattered showers and storms. I'll break down what you need to know coming up.
Today about once weekly Ozempic.
Several new developments this morning in the impeachment battle. We're learning more about the text messages provided to Congress by the former U.S. envoy to Ukraine. And the president is now urging another country to also investigate his political rival. ABC's Serena Marshall has the very latest from Washington.
A new request coming from the president.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens.
Boldly urging China to investigate Joe Biden and his family, even as he faces possible impeachment for asking Ukraine to do the same thing. And days before Beijing officials arrive in the U.S. to resume trade talks. Joe Biden's son, Hunter, has had business dealings in both China and Ukraine while his father was vice president. But in both cases, there has been no evidence of any wrongdoing. This as the president's former envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, testified on Capitol Hill for more than 10 hours behind closed doors, handing over damning text messages that go back months, including one with a top aide to Ukraine's president that happened in the hours before President Trump spoke with the leader. In the exchange, Volker emphasizes a meeting is predicated on an investigation, writing, assuming President Xi convinces Trump he will investigate, get to the bottom of what happened in 2016, we will nail down a date for a visit to Washington. A few weeks later, State Department officials drafted a statement for Ukraine's leader that would have committed him to investigations of President Trump's rivals. The statement was never released, but days later, the president's trip to Poland, where he would have met with Ukraine's President Zelensky, canceled. At this point, the top American diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, texted this asking, "Are we now saying that security assistance and White House meeting are preconditioned on investigations?" The response coming from the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland. He responded, "Call me." 1 week later, Taylor expressing outrage, writing, "I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign." Sondland replies, "I believe you are incorrect about President Trump's intentions. The president has been crystal clear, no quid pro quo of any kind." But Sondland then adding, "I suggest we stop the back and forth by text."
Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill said that those text messages show no evidence of a quid pro quo, even as they had trouble defending the president's latest ask of China. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Movie mogul Harvey Weinstein suffered a blow to his legal battle as he faces charges for sex crimes in New York. He was denied a stay of his upcoming trial, and his request for a change of venue was also denied. Weinstein hoped to move to the trial to either Albany, New York, or Suffolk County. Prosecutors say he raped a woman in a hotel in 2013 and forcefully performed oral sex on another woman at his apartment in 2006. He has pleaded not guilty to 5 felony counts, including sexual assault and first-degree rape. His trial is scheduled to begin on January 6th.
At 4:45, Ohio University is suspending all of its fraternity organizations over concerns of hazing. In a letter from the Interfraternal Council, the university said it received reports of hazing from 7 of its 15 chapters. Last spring, one other fraternity was expelled for hazing, alcohol, and drug use after an 18-year-old was killed. Under the suspension, the organizations cannot engage in chapter events, meetings, or activities until further notice.
Military officials are investigating after at least 23 paratroopers were injured during a training exercise. 87 jumpers were blown into trees during a night jump at Camp Shelby in Mississippi on Wednesday. Spotters with night vision goggles were on the ground communicating with the jump teams, but they missed the landing by as much as 400 yards. 4 of the paratroopers are still in the hospital, including one who has a broken back. The Army says none of the injuries are life-threatening.
Injuries on jumps are fairly commonplace. To have this number is relatively rare. In my career, I've seen it about a half a dozen times where this many jumpers end up in the trees. And each time it's a different causation. So the investigation will kind of reveal kind of why that happened.
The training exercise has been put on hold as the Army investigates the cause of the accident. Time now is 4:46. Alyssa's going to take a check at our cooler weather.
And it is going to be a much more seasonable day in the forecast. Those temperatures are starting in the 40s and 50s this morning. This is going to be right where we should be this time of year. So usually we are right around 70 degrees for our daytime highs. Today we are going to be into the upper 60s, so a little bit cooler. And then we do have some chances of showers as we head through the weekend. Right now, we are starting with those temperatures in the 50s and 40s in some locations. We're 54 in Indianapolis right now, 53 in Kokomo, and 53 in Bloomington. Those winds are light. We do have a little bit of cloud coverage here in Indianapolis and right around Kokomo. A lot of that is going to clear out as we head through the morning, and then we'll just see a little bit of cloud coverage as we head into the afternoon and evening. Those will be high clouds. We'll see plenty of sunshine today. So what's going on is we had that cold front pass through yesterday. That brought us in that cooler air. Now we have high pressure building in. That's going to continue to stabilize and bring us those cool temperatures. That's really just going to lock them in and help bring us a little bit of sunshine today and tomorrow, keeping us dry as well before we see some changes come in by Saturday night. So we're starting with that cloud coverage today. Those temperatures in the 50s this morning, but as we head through the morning, we are going to see some clear skies, especially to the north. So we're going to cool down yet just a little bit. We'll see those temperatures dropping into the upper 40s. So you might want a light jacket if you're heading out this morning in Lafayette and Kokomo, because by 7 a.m. we are going to see those temperatures drop off into the upper 40s. A little cooler start than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday we were seeing those morning lows in the low 70s. Again, that's where we'll be for our daytime highs today. By the noon hour, we'll hit those low 60s and upper 50s to the north before we see those temperatures up into the low 60s this afternoon, upper 60s rather. And then looking ahead to the weekend, 75 on Saturday. High pressure is still in control, mostly sunny skies. skies. Those morning lows, though, you'll notice in the 40s here in central Indiana, so they'll be a little cooler to the north. So if you have some early morning plans on Saturday, you might want a light jacket or a sweatshirt. 72 on Sunday. Overnight Saturday into Sunday, we're going to see a front start to move through. That will bring us the potential of maybe a spot thunderstorm and then some chances of much needed rain on Sunday throughout the day. As we look into today, temperatures starting in the 40s this morning, so we're starting a little cooler, and then we are going to see those temperatures up into the 60s this afternoon. We're about 20 degrees cooler than we have been from the start of the week, so a big change with those temperatures. But again, this is where we should be this time of year. We got through those 90-degree temperatures, 80s yesterday, and now we are into the 60s. 69 for our high today. Mostly sunny skies. 75 tomorrow. Saturday is also going to be a beautiful day to get outside and enjoy it. And then we do have that potential of some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. Temperatures back into the low 60s to start out the work week.
Alyssa, thank you. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Here's a live look down on the south side, I-65 near Southport Road. Looks like everything here is traveling up to speed. You can see those orange barrels on the sides of the roads. We will have some construction starting tonight at 9 p.m. in the northbound lanes, so you'll need to plan ahead if your weekend travels take you through this area to the north. Let's take a look at our traffic now map at this hour. We are showing some slowdowns right there by Southport Road, but as you saw, everything looks like it's moving along just fine through there. Over here to our east, we have US 40 closed. This is for a festival between County Road 150 West and State Street, so a heads up to that this morning. Right lane blocked for construction southbound I-65 near Lafayette Road. Just use caution as you head through that area. Stay to the left. And then up here on westbound I-465 and Allisonville Road, we have construction closing 2 lanes of the interstate early this morning. Let's take a live look right now over to the east side. I-70 here in Emerson Avenue. Traffic is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. We'll keep you updated on any crashes or delays.
Bed Bath & Beyond will be closing more stores than it originally planned. The retailer said that it will soon close 20 more stores in addition to the 40 already announced in April. The affected stores will be closed by the end of the year. The locations of those stores has not been released yet. Without these stores, Bed Bath & Beyond will still have roughly 1,000 stores. An unlikely friendship at the Cincinnati Zoo. After the break, how a cheetah and a dog became like siblings.
And 50 years later, a Hoosier veteran killed in Vietnam, finally home in Indiana. New at 5, the emotional homecoming. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Today on Court TV, a brand new trial, Florida versus Jimmy Rogers. It's actually a death penalty case. Prosecutors say that Rogers was hired by a doctor's husband to murder his wife, Dr. Teresa Sievers. We are in jury selection right now, which is a really detailed process where every juror must be death penalty qualified. They must be able to administer the death penalty if they believe the case has been proven. Once again, we are live in Florida today on Court TV.
And don't forget, you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
And checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 4:56 here on your Friday, and we are keeping a close eye on some construction right now on the northwest side of town, I-65 here at 56th Street. You can see the flashing board there on your screen, but overall everything is traveling smoothly, both northbound and southbound. We'll keep you updated.
Here's your daily dose of cute. A cheetah cub in Ohio was given an unexpected best friend to keep her from being lonely. The cheetah cub's name is Chris, and her friend, a rescue dog named Remus. Their companionship was created to try and help Chris, who was the only surviving cub from her litter. To give her a playmate, they introduced her to Remus as a surrogate sibling. They picked Remus because he's good-natured and highly energetic. Zookeepers at the Cincinnati Zoo say the pair will likely be friends for a couple of years before they grow apart, and probably before Chris grows a little bigger than Remus. But for now, they enjoy playing ball together.
Aww. They'll never grow apart.
All in favor of just playing this video on loop for the rest of the morning. Say hi.
Yep, sounds good to me. Oh, they're so cute.
Oh.
All right. Also, some good news for your Friday is the weather. If you like the fall weather and you've been waiting for it, it's finally here.
It's here. It is here. It feels nice this morning. Temperatures are a little cool this morning in the low 50s, upper 40s in some locations. That's where we should be this time of year, though. Temperatures today climbing into the upper 60s. Mostly sunny skies. We're staying sunny on Saturday as well, and then we do have the potential of scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. Back into the upper 60s to start next week.